Hello everyone, I'm Shu Yiwen. Today our presentation topic is relationship between task item arrangements and testee performance and task usefulness criteria. My group member Nan Wang and I will provide a brief analysis of this research article. Our presentation is divided into 6 parts, which are background, research question, methodology, result and interpretations, conclusion and implications. The last part is critique. So let's look at the background of the research. The selection and sequencing of task items should have an impact on the level of performance of the group on individual tasks, both for the group as a whole and for specific individual within the group. It has been widely noted that after a task, teachers and students alike report that the task failed to measure the true level of their ability. A student with a high level of knowledge, skills, and ability is sometimes said to have scored lower than he would expect, and that some students with knowledge and skills outside the acceptable range have been seen to score better than others. According to McNichol, a hard to easy arrangement was more problematic than an easy to hard arrangement. We can also assume that the arrangement of the task items may play a role in the testing. Concepts such as reliability, validity, authenticity, interactivity, impact, and practicality may be a function of the way tasks are constructed. The literature review of this research article is organized into the following points. For starters, a scholar suggested that task constructor choose the best item to test students' performance. Many other scholars like Allen have focused on certain guidelines, including the format of the question must be appropriate to the learning outcomes, the age of the students, the difficulty of the questions, and the experience with the assessment goals. However, according to Planck, the order of task items have no significant influence on the interaction of task arrangement. Furthermore, according to Margaret and Victor, item arrangement plays an important role in determining students' examination performance. Some students may find it difficult to guess answer in multiple choice question, while others may find them less demanding, and some may definitely prefer essay question. In all these contexts, the design of the arrangement of the various items can also do fundamental work in determining students' responses. So the second part is the research question. From the literature review, there is no consensus among the researchers, indicating a problematic approach, which is the motivation for this research. The study aimed to explore any important differences between the arrangement of task items and the performance of subjects on the task. Next, it explored any important role of item arrangement and task usefulness criteria. So the following are the 3 research questions for this study. Firstly, do task item arrangement have any significant effect on the testee performance on the test? Secondly, do task item arrangement have any significant effect on task usefulness criteria? Finally, do task item arrangements have any significant effect on item characteristics? Okay, let's move on to the methodology. The study was conducted in Iran. The participants in this study consist of 116 students. They were both male and female and ranged in age from 18 to 30 years old. All participants were university students majoring in one of the three disciplines of English language teaching, English translation, and English literature, as well as students from different language institutes in Ireland. The study used questionnaires, Nelson tests, and researcher-made tests as research instruments. Let's look at the reliability of the instrument. So Table 1 shows that the questionnaire administered during the second phase of the study enjoyed a reliability of 0.955. The reliability indicates for the 5 criteria are shown on the table. From Table 2, it can be seen that in the third phase of the study, the reliability of the questionnaire was 0.991. So Table 3 displays the descriptive statistics for the 3 tests. The last part of the methodology is the procedure. For starter, after selecting the sample, the researcher produced tests were conducted over a 4-week period in the form of 2 different project arrangements. Then they gave the test usefulness questionnaire based on Benjamin and Plummer framework. Finally, they continue with the data analysis steps of each test administration process. The researchers primarily focus on the degree of relationship between the 2 factors instead of at a cause and effect relationship. So the above are 3 parts of the research article. My group member Nan Wang will introduce the following section.
Okay, thanks to Shu Yi for her speech. My name is Nan Wang, and I will give you further analysis and explanation below. The first part is interpretation of results. Data testing was performed separately according to the 3 research questions posed above, to trial whether test assignment had a significant effect on test takers' performance. A paired samples test was performed to compare participants' averages on the second and third test. Through testing normality, compare the absolute value of scoreness and the cuteness index with 1.96 to explore. The results show that the absolute value of this index are lower than 1.96 in the second and third test, as the picture shows. Furthermore, when testing the null hypothesis, there was no significant difference in the paired samples t-test comparing the second and third test, which means that there was no significant difference in the performance of the participants in the 2 tests. Next is the verification of the second research question. The second null hypothesis assumes that the item's arrangement is tested for the reliability of second and third phrases. Assumption is no significant effect. To test this hypothesis, repeated measures ANOVA was performed by descriptive statistics on the overwhelming of the 5 usefulness criteria, and multivariate analysis was performed in the form of repeated measures. As shown in the figure, authenticity, mean equal 2.082, has the highest average value, and the multivariate test showed the interaction of usefulness criteria and participants' performance on the test. However, according to the tabulated result, I4 and 112 equal 4.28, P equal 0.003, fractional eta 2 equal 0.133, representing an almost large effect size. That is, there are significant difference among the overall means of the 5 usefulness criteria. However, I4 and 112 equal 1.063, P equal 0.378, partial eta 2 equal 0.033. 37. Representing a significant difference indicates that there is no apparent interaction between the two tests and the usefulness criteria. In addition, participants performed better on the second test than on the third test when viewed on average over the overall test. In order to test whether test items arrangement had a greater effect on atom characteristics, the authors calculated the percentage of IF, ID, and CD for different test trios A and B and calculated the overall mean. According to the histogram, we can clearly see that the total mean of IF and ID of test A is higher than that of test B. At the same time, the total mean of the CD in test A is also higher than that in test B. Therefore, test item arrangement has some influence on test characteristics. Now, let's turn to conclusion and implications. Through the statistical analysis of some test data, this research infers the correlation between the testers and the arrangement of test items and test characteristics, so that teachers and students can understand the factors of that affect students' test scores, students' learning direction, and influence teaching content. The study also brought up a paradoxical result. The arrangement of the test item has no apparent effect on performance of the test takers. However, the usefulness criteria of tests, although to varying degrees, have been shown to be influenced by the arrangement of the test items. This means that the test designers or teachers should focus on researching different test formats to help improve students' performance. Furthermore, this research has implications for test developers and classroom teachers to give due attention to our aspect of test methodology when making educational assignment decisions. Because learner performance, the nature of the measuring device, and the construction are all factors that affect the testing method. Then, let me talk about the limitations and the recommendations of the entire study. The project has a large base of research participants, which leads to inaccurate data collection. Therefore, there is a risk of error in data testing. Furthermore, the statistical methods of test data are too diverse. Not only will it lead to duplication of data test results, it will also make it difficult for readers who do not understand statistical methods to read, thereby affecting the understanding of the research project. In addition, statistics are prone to abuse. It can be altered and manipulated to indicate what the researcher wants to achieve, which makes the data lack objectivity and cannot be relied upon to make decisions in an organizational setting. It is suggested that in future research, on the premise of ensuring scientificity, the criteria for participants can be more specific, so that data collection can be more accurate. For example, the age is changed from 80 to 30 to 80 to 25, or the measure becomes single. Statistical methods avoid complexity and repetition. Prepare a present analysis model before performing data statistics and unify the calculation scheme to improve the efficiency of data analysis. Furthermore, different research methods can be used to test different research questions, increasing the flexibility to research method strategies, thereby avoiding single research methods that affect research results and decision-making. Now it's time to critique. Testing is an indispensable means of checking the quality of language teaching. Teachers can use the test to understand the progress of teaching, the situation of students' learning, and the effect of teaching methods. Therefore, testing should be encouraged for research to provide feedback to teachers and classmates. Test designers can let learners participate in the improvement of the test and put forward their opinions, so as to understand the appropriate and effective test method and the scientific test item arrangement. The usefulness standard of the test should also be consistent with the language teaching goals and be based on the accurate level of the learners and in line with the real learning scope, so as to ensure the real test scores of the testees. Okay, thank you for your listening, and that is all of our group's speech. And we have a discussion question for you. Do you think test item arrangement has any effect on the testee score and performance? And what are the specific effects? We are looking forward to your response. Thank you.